Hello, I am Ron Leeman,
And I'm Mark Green.
and we are both
Leeman and Green.
Leeman and Green. You didn't
Sorry,
work,
mate.
did it? It didn't work.
As per usual, I was too quick. Story of my life, Ron. Story of my life. Too premature, mate. Let's,
Listen, listen,
yeah,
this is off
these
the
things
cuff
happen.
anyway, so you
Yeah,
give the monkeys. Oh,
yeah,
and
these things happen.
excuse my attire. I forgot my Christmas hat, so I had to borrow my daughter's attire. But they all say we all, all as men, all as sort of,
I mean,
hard-nosed men have a kind of feminine side. So this is
I
my
think you've
feminine
definitely got
side.
like a Liberace thing going on, mate. That's definitely 100%.
Okay,
So how have
so
you
this is going
been?
to be a bit of. Sorry, go on.
How
This
have
is
you
going to be a
been?
bit.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
cool.
been okay. Well, apart from a few aches and pains, I think I mentioned I had a motorbike accident a months ago, and
Hmm.
my face is okay now, but my knees. I'm struggling with my knee a bit, and I'm still trying to get rid of a lump off the side of my hip. But apart from that, I'm fine. Yeah,
Good,
yeah,
good.
Eve. Yeah. I've got to go.
Business
I've got to
good?
go
Training
when I get
good?
back down. Sorry.
Is business good? Training good?
Training is finished for the year.
Yeah.
Although I've just signed a guy up from Canada, but I've got a
Awesome.
heap of training coming up in the new year because what I did was I shifted a lot of people who would had training booked kind of last week over to the new year because I wanted a bit of a break. So in the new year, it's going to be a little bit hell for leather for January, but after that, it's going to settle down a bit. So, but yeah, apart from that, it's going well. It's going well.
Good.
It was just actually talking of training. I've been going through kind of um, what's it called? Imposter syndrome, if you like.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
when I've been
Welcome.
delivering, sorry, when I've been delivering my training, I'm thinking, does that still apply? Am I thinking this is not what I want to deliver, or is it making sense and stuff like that? So what I've been doing is kind of now I'm going since I've been up here, I'm going through all my journeys and basically looking and sort of taking a hard look and say, is that really what I want to say? Yeah. Am I making sense here? Do I really want to tell people about this and about that? And I'm making changes just to sort of, um, things that I've been worried about over the past few months and that haven't been working properly. So they're not massive changes, but there are a few changes.
Yeah.
But anyway, what about you?
Yeah, it's been going all right, mate, to be fair.
Uh,
Yeah, I think work's going well. We finished with a client in November, so we're on the
okay.
hunt. It was a 2 year long client, so we're kind of looking for the next client to get our teeth into, next bit of work. So having some conversations. I think what's really nice is, and I've said this before in one of my posts, is win, lose or draw, by the way we present ourselves and the way I talk and all the rest of it, we've always had conversations going, which has been
Yeah.
nice, especially in today's market. Because I don't know what it's like for you personally, but over here in the UK, it's been dreadful. It's been really, really painful. So the fact that we've always had conversations going is a real plus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just got to turn those conversations into an opportunity and into a piece of client work, and I'll be a happy man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
it's been all right.
Just a matter of interest. What were you cleaning earlier on?
Oh, sorry, mate. I said I'd do a bit of polishing while I was talking to you. I hope you don't mind. Just a little bit of polishing a few of the ornaments that are laying around. So I thought I'd do that. Sorry, mate, if I distracted you at all. Yeah. So listen, we said we were going to talk about all things change.
I'm never distracted, mate. You know?
Let's do that. Let's talk about all things change. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah, 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 yeah,
there was a
yeah.
few a
Okay.
few a few ideas. What do you think have been the big things this year? Like the things that have really stood out to you? What's
Okay, the big things this year. I mean, that's a difficult question actually, because there's been a load of different things this year. But for me, one of the biggest issues this year,
yeah, yeah.
excuse
Carry
me,
on, mate. Carry
what,
on. Don't mind me.
what, excuse me, put my jaw back in place, right? One of the biggest issues for me
Yeah.
this year, and I did post about it not so long ago, and it actually got some quite good traction, was LinkedIn and the same old, and I'm not going to say it, shit that is posted on LinkedIn about change management. For goodness sake, are we ever going to get away from all of this normal traditional narrative that people, yes, yes, of course, it's all about people, yes, yes, and you have to think about that, and yes, yes, it's about whatever you want, and make sure you do this and make sure you do that. For sake, when are people nearly, when when are people going to cotton on that this stuff has been kicking around for
Yeah, yeah.
35, 40 bloody years, for goodness sake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
No,
clean
I
something? Before you answer that, did you clean something else then?
no, right, no, I'm just cracking on, just cracking on, just doing a bit of housework
Okay,
while I talk to you.
yeah, yeah, carry on, carry on.
So yeah, I mean, I think for me, yeah, I mean, that's obviously why I went off and did my own thing because I was bored with it. I was sick of it. I think I've always said, I joined LinkedIn in what 2007,
Yeah,
and the first two people that I followed was you and Bob Grant because you were different and you just had this very sort of practical, common sense approach. This is what happens in the workplace. This is what we've been through. This is what we think. And hopefully, it can help someone. I think the problem is, and so if you look at, for example, I'll give you an example, right? Everything that I do in terms of press release, interviews, all that business, it's not in Change Weekly because it doesn't need to be in Change Weekly. We all talk change. Everybody in the
uh,
industry, we all talk change all the time. So everything I do is outside because for me, our industry has been criminally undervalued for years, right? You know that, I know that. It's just criminally. So everything I do is to external people, CEOs,
yeah.
CTOs, multitude of companies. This is us. This is what we do. We're brilliant. This is why we're brilliant. Come and look at us, appreciate us. I think I get frustrated as well. You still see, do you know what? I actually saw a 70% post the other day, and I almost tagged you in it because I was like,
Oh no.
I can't believe somebody still came out with that 70% thing. And then of course, you've got the old stuff, the cotton, all the rest of it. And I'm just like, we need to move on. We need to move on, and we need to. But I don't think to answer your question, when are we going to change? I don't think we are because unfortunately me, you, and others that are like us are the minority still at the moment. And I think we've got to become, more the majority so that we, and yeah,
Funny you should say that. I was going to talk about that, which is another post I made another article I wrote a few months ago, which was um, the elite versus the hoi polloi.
yeah.
Um, I think there is a big divide on LinkedIn between those people who think they are change management gurus, whatever you want. And there's then, I'd like to say, people like thee and me who are fairly grounded in what we say and what we like and what we do and the things we post. And there is this chasm that I kind of think is there and doesn't get filled. So I suppose, I'm kind of fairly much to blame as well because I don't engage with what I consider the elites, yeah, which is, I suppose, it's a bit naughty of me. But maybe if they start engaging with the hoi polloi like us, then maybe I can engage back, or you can
I,
engage
I,
back. But at the
I think
moment,
that
I don't know.
the thing is, mate, I think you got to remember, you and I, and others, not just you and I, there are others, we're not everybody's taste. And I get that, and I'm fine with that. And actually, like I say, for me, it's less important that the hoi polloi or whatever you want to call them of the change world like me than it is that people outside the change world like me because they're the people that I want to work with and get on with and support
Yes,
and help and do good work with and do good things with. So I think for me it's kind of like, yeah, there are it's like anything, right? Anything in this world, primary schools like it, there's cliques, there are cliques everywhere. And I think you just got to find your people and just yeah, you Just like I say,
I,
it doesn't really phase me or bother me at all because I just think I've got people I like, I've got people I trust, and got people I talk to. So,
yeah. Just let me ask a question. I think we covered this in a couple of message exchanges. And by the way, LinkedIn still hasn't sorted out problem of me losing
all
all
right,
your
okay.
messages. They're useless. Anyway, enough of that.
It's
Which
probably a
we
ban on
talk.
profanity.
Say again.
I said they probably banned the profanity.
Well, it might. I've been thinking about that. I mean, we don't pull any
Occasionally,
punches, do
we
we, when
say
we
what we say.
message each
Yes, yes.
other?
I'm far more careful on
So
camera than I am off camera.
yeah, I'm wondering whether that might be the case, and I'm waiting for them to come back to me. And I've now
Sorry,
totally lost my thread.
sorry. You going to ask me a question, mate, about something?
I was going to ask you a question, but I can't remember what the bloody question was.
Uh, that's fine. That's fine.
So,
I mean, so well, we were just talking there about hoi polloi and clicks and all the rest of it. And yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I think
yeah,
anybody
yeah,
in an industry will feel that. But what is nice, and this is the bit that I want to talk about because this I think this is really important, is there are some brilliant people coming through, some brilliant people coming through, and some people
yes,
that
I
I'm
agree.
really enjoying reading their posts, their opinions, their thought processes. I just find it really good. So I'm gonna kick off because I want to know who I think who's really shone out for you. I'm going to kick off though because I know who I already had this planned, obviously, who I was going to say. So for me, the big person this year was Nissi. Nissi has really stood out for me.
Mm.
And the reason why, I tell you why, Ron, it's not just about content, it's she's come out with a brand. She's yellow, right? And I like the yellow. I've even told her I like the yellow and taken a
They
mick out of
call
it.
me Mellow Yellow.
Ex
That's
ex
right.
oh God.
Sorry.
Yes, no, it's fine. I should have brought my kids ear defenders if you were going to sing. But yeah, she's brilliant. I think she's good. She talks a lot of common sense. She's not afraid of being challenged. She's open for debate. And like I say, because I know I'm annoying, but because I'm a bit of a brand guy, I like that she came out with a strong brand as well. And there's lots of others that I like that have been around a lot longer. I mean, I like Edwina Pike and their stuff because they're very branded, and I like that on brand thing. But for me,
Okay.
this past year, I think Nissi has stood out, and I loved the podcast we did with her. I thought it was brilliant.
Mm.
Yeah, it was great fun. What about you? Who stood
I,
out for you?
I got to say, I had a bit of a spicy meal earlier on. Just hang on a second. I
Don't
don't
want to get
have any
heartburn.
standout. I don't have a standout person, to be
No?
honest. None at all. No one that sort of kicks me up the backside and says, "Hey, I like that." I mean, I do tend to sort of,
Hi.
look at
I'm
most
really
posts by
disappointed, Ron.
people.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm really disappointed, mate. I mean, I thought, at least one person might come to your mind, who's
Oh,
really stood out.
did you want me to say, oh, Mark Green?
Well, that'd be very kind of you, mate. That'd be stop. That's very kind of you. But no, I mean, it depends. I mean, I look at them because people like that because I'm like you. I get tired of seeing the old stuff. I get tired of seeing the repetitive stuff. The people going, harping on about change curve and all and everything. And it's kind of like we've moved on from that. And I think one of the things where I'm willing to kind of eat humble pie and go, okay, yes, I was probably wrong, was around the neuroscience stuff, which I loved.
Yeah.
I loved
I
that.
tell you, I just changed my mind. There are quite a few standout people for me. They're all
Well,
the ones that gave me brilliant feedback for my training. Sorry, I thought I'd get that plug in. I had to do that, didn't I? But honestly, I have had some really, really great trainees who have asked some searching questions, who have sort of challenged me, who have sort of, asked me the questions that I've found hard to answer, etc. And hang on a second. Hang on, Susie, come in. I'm
are
just
we
going to
getting a guest
introduce my
appearance?
daughter.
Are we
Say
getting a
hello.
are we getting a guest appearance here?
Say hello.
Hello,
Here we go. This is
hello.
Susie
Hi,
Sarapa.
Susie.
That's
Nice to meet
Mark.
you. Hi, nice to meet you.
Okay. All right. Cheers. Yeah, sorry about
Guest
that.
guest appearances, mate. I didn't know we were doing that. I got the boys up. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Um,
so.
what else is there? Going back to your question about what's been the standout thing, I suppose the thing that really is, you know, going off at the speed of light is AI, artificial
Oh,
intelligence, and um, I mean, I'm forever looking at all these different articles and posts on artificial
what do you
artificial
think, mate?
intelligence, and I'm thinking this is like movie. Every day is something different. So every day is more statistics about who does what and who's using what. There are there's now over about 40, between 40 and 45,000 different IA applications out there. How the hell do you know? It's a bit, I mean, I worry that there's over 50 change management models out there, but if you've got 40,000 AI applications out there, how the hell do you choose the one that is going to be good for your business or good for you as a person? It's it's frightening in a way. It doesn't worry me as such because I'm not going to be around much longer anyway. So
Oh, there's
I'm
a
not going to
cheerful
be.
note, Ron. Thanks, mate.
Hey, I'm being realistic, mate. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I know what you mean. It's same with the AI stuff. I mean, I've been on panels about it. I've spoken about it. I've written about it. And the thing is, mate, the thing that is the most frustrating thing about AI is, yes, you're absolutely right. It's moving at a rapid speed, and developments and applications are just so fast and furious. But what's really infuriating for me, and I said it just the other day, was that all of a sudden, everything that I go to or speak at or talk to, people go, well, people are the most important thing. And I'm like, hello, we've been saying this in change management for decades. And it's like all of a sudden they've gone, oh, yeah, people, humans, people, humans. And I'm
well,
sat there just going, "Hmm,
you kind of hit the nail on the head for me there because I just remembered the question what I was going to talk about earlier on. Going through this imposter syndrome type, whatever it
yeah,
is,
yeah,
I'm I'm going to challenge, and I'm just in the middle of writing an article, which is going to come out. I don't know when. It depends when I've got time to finish it. I'm going to question the people first assumption. I'm going to actually question that. Yeah, isn't that a little bit of a sort of how can I put it? Challenging thing to think about? Because the way I sort of look at it now, or I have been looking at it over, I mean, this is sort of partial of what I've been talking to trainees about and stuff. The way I look at it now is I think, yes, people are important, but so is process, and so is technology. And the three tend to go hand in hand.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, there seems to be of late this bandwagon of everyone going, yes, people. Yeah, fine. Okay. But don't forget that people deliver work through processes, and technology provides those processes for those people to deliver what they do.
Yeah, I absolutely agree
So,
with you.
what do you think about that?
I absolutely agree with you because I think if you've been in the change game for as long as I have and you have, we always talk about people, process, technology, right? That's the thing because most of the things we're involved with is either a process change or a technology change. I think the reason why people are jumping on the bandwagon about the people is because I think and I wouldn't say fear and I wouldn't say resistance. I'd just say there's this innate thing in us at the moment as a species where we're going, let's not forget about humans. We're important. So
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you. I don't dispute what you've just said at all, and totally agree with you. But I think at the moment, globally, we're going through this thing where we're going, humans are so important because people are worried that they're going to lose sight of their humanity.
I suppose on a wider scale, I know where you're coming from because the whole world is going through change at the moment,
Mm,
and that change is literally regarding people. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not going to go into the whys and wherefores of the details of what the change is
yeah,
because I might get myself into trouble. But yes, it is. It's about change. And this is one of my contentions I've had for years and years and years. Yeah. That change is everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah, it is absolutely everywhere. You
yeah.
cannot pigeonhole change at all. Yeah. And some of the humanitarian stuff that's going on at the moment, some of the wars that are going on at the moment, some of the I'm not, as I said, I'm not going to
Yeah,
go
yeah, yeah.
there because
No,
I
it's
think
it's
I'm
everywhere.
getting
It's
myself.
everywhere.
But you know where I'm coming from, don't you? You know
Yeah,
where I'm coming from,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And it kind of worries me a little bit of where everything is heading, and I think there needs to be, and how it will work, I wouldn't know, but there needs to be some kind of step back, reframe what we're thinking about, what we're doing, who we're supporting, and how we're supporting them, and who we're paying loads of money, etc., etc. There needs to be some kind of step back and reframing about what we're doing, uh, because there are clearly things that are being done that are just creating more and more of this stuff that's
Yeah, yeah,
going on. Uh,
yeah. No, I
and
agree.
okay, we're getting a little bit into politics now, and I don't like getting into politics, but there it's a real big challenge at the moment,
Yeah,
and
yeah. No, you're right.
yeah, sorry, go on.
I think what the way we can bring it back, so how I would bring it back anyway, is I agree with you completely, and I try very hard to stay away from politics on LinkedIn because it just opens a can of worms, and you just don't need it. There's plenty of people who will do it. Let them do it. It just doesn't flow. I'm just there to talk change, simple as that. But I think the way you bring this back is you go, yes, there's some stuff happening in the world, but actually we're seeing that in our leadership teams as well in business. It's archaic. It still
Yes,
hasn't, they still haven't got it. They still haven't, they've gone through, you commented the other day on a post I did about, you bring in a big consultancy, it ends in divorce, and people still go, that's okay. We still do that. And they repeat that mistake. And it's
yeah,
like, so I think, there's a lot of stuff coming up that's going to be really interesting. The speed in which AI is going, it just is what it is. I think we all need to be aware of it and involved with it. I think you've got old leadership guard going, new leadership coming
yeah,
in. And I don't think
yeah.
those new leaderships coming in, the new generations understand people and change management.
But I mean, talking about leadership and talking about AI in the same breath, there is still a big issue. This is something I cover in my training. There is a big issue about the way AI is being implemented. And it's the old change model is someone thinks of this as a good idea. They write a business case, they write business benefits and stuff. And what they do is they chuck it over the wall and get somebody else to implement it without actually getting involved. And this kind of worries me because this is an opportunity. AI is an opportunity for us. It's an absolute opportunity for us to actually work in, and there's a word I use in, you've just remembered it, symbiotic partnership. That's good, isn't it? I like that.
It is.
Symbiotic
I was going to
partnership
use a far simpler
with
word, but
with
yeah.
AI. Absolutely. So what we don't want to do is be overshadowed by it. Yeah. But one of the questions I would ask you on AI is, do you think there will ever be a situation where AI actually surpasses human intelligence?
Well, I hope not, because if I mean, the thing is, it's not so much about intelligence, because in some ways it's probably more intelligent than I am. I think it's empathy and understanding people's emotions and reactions, and it's not capable of that, and it won't be capable of that. And if it ever becomes capable of that, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble. So I think for me it's AI being implemented. It just yeah, you're absolutely right. The old stuff doesn't work. The old change models don't work. Has to be much more collaborative. I think there's a real opportunity to have teams work together in a new way that is more collaborative, top to
Yes.
bottom. And you can almost have it like a. It's probably going to sound a bit too simplistic, but in my mind, it's like a playground, and you let the kids go and play, and they come back and they tell you what's the best toy or what they think is the best toy. And then
Yeah.
you, as because there's always that parent-child relationship in an organization. So that parent, which is the leader, then goes, oh, that's nice, or that's clever. Let's look at that further. And that's the starting blocks for me of how you embed AI in a new
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
I did what we've seen is completely different. What we've seen is a bucket load of leaders go, yay, shiny, shiny. Oh, I want that. Oh, I like that. And they've put it
Yeah.
in. They've got rid of people who've got corporate knowledge, and intellect about how the organisation's ran for the past 50 years. And then they've gone, oh, I forgot we need people to put data in. and we need
Yeah,
people to,
yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
you know, and yeah,
It's where AI gets all its information from. I mean, the thing that worries me, the main thing that worries me, is about the trust that's placed in the AI output when somebody sticks in a prompt of something like. I mean, look
yeah,
at the situation. Was it Deloitte in Australia
yeah.
who did that
I
report
posted
for an
about that. Yeah,
Australian government and charged $400,000
yeah,
for it,
yeah,
and it was full of crap.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And this is because they trusted the output. They
yeah,
didn't check it. And this is what worries me is that they're, people in the end, at the end, people are lazy, aren't they? They don't want to check something. So they think, oh, we can get away with just putting a prompt into AI and getting some information saying, that's good, let's publish it. Yeah.
yeah,
What
yeah,
about checking it? What about reading it? What about making sure that it fits with your narrative? What about that? Yeah, there's very little of that. And this is one of the reasons why I think there are so many problems with AI implementations nowadays, is because of the trust factor. The trust
yeah,
factor
yeah.
isn't there yet. Yeah.
Well, do
And
you,
that is, go on. Yeah, go
I
on.
was gonna say, do you remember you and I, crikey, this is going back, this is when it just sort of started to come out and we were all playing with different things. I'm sure it was me and you, and I showed you a website creator. And it was an AI web, and you put in the name of your business and you put in a few details about what you did, how you operated, and it would create a website for you, right? In principle, nice, because it takes a long time to do that. But then I'm sure it was you and I showed you. I did one like for Change Rebellion as a just as a tester, and it gave false recommendations and statements saying how
Yeah,
wonderful I was by businesses
yeah.
that had never been there. It just wasn't true. It was a lie. So it
And
cannot be trusted in any way, shape, or form. And
it
that's
goes
why,
back,
yeah,
just goes back to trust, doesn't it? So
yeah.
anyway, what could I just ask you a stupid question? I asked you this before. What were you cleaning earlier on?
Well, it's funny to say that. We've had quite a good year on, to be fair. And we just, yeah, I didn't want to do anything about it and show anybody or anything, but these things need cleaning. So if you've got to clean, you've got to clean. But yeah, one of the topics I was going to ask you about was awards, mate, because I know that it's been a bit controversial for you, and I thought actually we could use this as a let's talk about the award process. Let's talk about winning awards. Um,
Okay, let's just talk about awards for a while. The Change Awards specifically.
okay.
Okay. Have you seen any of their latest posts on LinkedIn? The main
No, look,
one
Ron,
that
can I
I
just
want.
recommend? Sorry, mate. Can I just quickly pause and recommend anybody who's watching this on YouTube, go and get your popcorn now. Thank you. Carry on.
Yeah, okay. So have you seen, go back, now that you've thrown me off my kilter.
Sorry, mate.
Um,
Sorry.
the latest list of judges. Okay. There are a few names on there. I know one particular, good old Ket. Yeah. Okay. He's a judge. All the others, I don't know how many there are. I haven't looked. Um, and this goes back to my elite come hoi polloi question of earlier. Okay. I think that these judges that are judging people are part of the elite. Like, okay, this is my opinion. I've got to say, nobody else's. This is just what I think. Maybe because I've been kicked in the teeth a couple of years, but hey, let's go over that. I just don't think that this way of applying for you never applied for any of your awards, did you?
No,
No, exactly. And this is my point. Don't apply. Yeah. Awards should be given to people who are being recognized as doing good work, not entering some form of words that says, "Oh, look what I did,"
I
and
think
how truthful are those applications? First of all, are they fully truthful? We had 3,000 impacted stakeholders, and it only took us 3 weeks to engage with them and give them all the information they need, etc. This is my application for change capability. Yeah. And I don't, I'm not, the only ever award I got going back a few years in 2013 was, it was awarded to me. I got an email that said, we want to, like, we want a kind of short version. We want to award you a Change Leader of Tomorrow award. This was way back in 2013, by the way. Okay. And I questioned it. I went back and I said, can you tell me how you came up with my name and how you came up with the fact that you want to give me this award? I didn't apply for it. So can you tell me? So they came back and they said, we had a panel of judges. The judges basically looked at various things, online and stuff like that, on LinkedIn and other online social media apps, etc. And they came up with your name and obviously other names as well. And your name was discussed between the judges, etc. And you came up as the person we would like to give this award to. And I think that is the way awards should be given. You shouldn't have to apply for an award because I
So,
think that what's the word I'm looking for, diminishes kind of the award at the end of the day. Maybe you have a different opinion. So let me hear yours.
for each one of them, I'm asked to provide information, right? That's a given, right? Now, I've seen the difference between what you've applied for,
Yeah.
and what I've got down there, and just happened to be nominated for one this year, next year as well. Anyway,
So
so yeah, so
can I just clarify something? So they asked you to provide information.
yeah, once another person has nominated me,
Okay.
they come back for information on me. Because they're not
Ah,
just because they're
okay.
not going to just give it to me randomly just because someone's gone, Mark's brilliant, he's awesome. If that was the case, mate, I'd like to think I'd have a lot more and a cabinet. So it's not that. So yeah, they come and they ask, and I provide information on me, on the company, a number of the interviews, one of the interviews in particular, Business Circle. For me to get the Business Circle award, which I have, and don't forget, well, usually when they tell you you've won, you also have to pay for your award, right? So that's the other thing as well that people forget, that these are a bit of hardware. And yeah, it's quite nice to have, right? I'm not going to lie. It's nice to have a bit of shiny around the house. But look at it a realistic perspective. So Business Circle, same thing. Working with my PR team, and I got put forward. They came back. They wanted to do a full blown interview with me, and it was actually really nice because they asked genuine questions. It wasn't just a kind of, when did you start? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? They said they really want to know about me and my background and the business and the ethos, right? Which was lovely. Went through all that. Yeah, it's yours. You've done it. You've won. I didn't have to go to an event. They just kind of tell you, they email you, and they go, do you want a trophy? And I'm a sucker because I love merchandise. So I just go, yes, please. Um, the one that was different, the one that was very different and stand out for me was the Great British Entrepreneur Awards for two reasons. So first of all, I generally didn't think I was going to win that. Really didn't. I was sat in the room. Me and my wife were talking about going to bed early because I just generally did not think, looking at the other people, I
Yeah.
was going to win it.
Yeah.
Secondly, that's not about change. I mean, none of these really are about
No,
change.
it's about
It's
entrepreneurialism.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's about creating a business. So that
Yeah.
one not dismissing the others at all in any way, shape, or form, but that one in particular, I'm really proud of because that was kind
Yeah.
of like a "you've done all
Yeah.
right, mate" kind of
Yeah, I
award.
get it. I get
I
it.
think what I've said to you in the past, and I will continue saying to you, is
Careful.
yeah, I know, is is I've just got this very fixed mindset. And by the way, can I just say, anybody watching this, because I know there's going to be people that you and I have been connected to for years that want to nominate me for an award, please feel free to do so. But I'm genuinely not bothered because for me, it's not about the award thing. It's same as what I said earlier about writing things and interviews. Nothing I do is in Change Weekly, right? I don't find that's not what pushes my buttons. What really pushes my buttons is going to everybody that doesn't know about change management. We're here and we do something phenomenal. Right,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so all of this, the awards, the articles, everything. So yes, by all means, any of our followers, I'm thinking like three or four people here, like yeah, if you want to put me in for a change award, awesome, thank you, I'd love it.
Yeah.
But I'm not overly in terms of my career and where I want to be. I'm not overly fussed, and you shouldn't be either. I think because you make such a big impact on your training, and that's your niche, and that's you smash it with
I,
training,
and
right?
and also the messages I get on a regular basis from
Yeah,
people I've
yeah,
connected with,
exactly, exactly.
that for me is what it
Yeah,
really is
yeah,
about,
yeah.
not about some that you showed me some shiny little some shiny.
Love it,
And
love it.
I have to say, listen, I have to say that I am not being overly critical of the judges that have been appointed to judge the Change Awards. I'm sure they will do a very good job. It's just going back to what I said earlier. It's about having to go through an application process before you can be judged. Yes, I know that trying to find people to give an award to without them applying for it is probably a bit of a pain in the backside. But I think that's far more, how can I put it, realistic way of giving awards. So please don't get me wrong, people, judges on the Change Awards. I'm not having a go at you in particular. Okay, well, sort of each life, slightly, not a lot, slightly. Okay, but then that's me.
Yeah,
um,
I mean, do you know what? We're all entitled to our own opinions, and I think we'll have to wrap this up because they'll get bored of listening to us about it. But I think, like I say, for me, Ron, you know, take some comfort, and it's why I empathise as well with you a bit because the particular thing you went for in the Change Awards very niche, very small, and I get why. You've been around since I was in nappies, so I do get it. I do get it, but I think for me take comfort in, for God knows how long now, you've been smashing it in training. Like me, take comfort from people reaching out and going, do you know what, I really like you, or I really like, you're not a complete madman or idiot. I actually like what you say and what you do, and take comfort from that. And I mean, like I say, for me, these drive a purpose, which is raising the profile of change management. And that's
yeah.
that's what I want to do.
So going back to one of your original question, the original question you said, what's the big thing? We talked about AI, we've talked
Hmm.
about thinking about rethinking about people and process and technology, and we've talked about other things as well.
Yeah.
Your venture or your sojourn into neuroscience.
Oh, here we go. Knew this was coming.
I kind of was a little bit shocked by that because
Um,
I know
I,
knowing you
mm,
the way I do,
yeah.
yeah, and you suddenly saying, "Hey, I've done this Pepe's neuroscience course," and I thought, "What? Okay, so give me the lowdown.
Oh, crikey. So, a number of
Why?
reasons.
Why? First of all, why? There's the
Well,
good.
the
The
what, the
good
why is
change
the why.
management question is why.
Yeah, yeah. Um, a number of reasons. I think. Firstly, I say to it, I've mentored a few people coming through, and I always say the same thing: learn as much as you can, make your own mind up. Is basically what I say. I don't want to appear to be a hypocrite, so I'm like I can't say one way or the other about neuroscience when I don't know enough about it. I just what I didn't like and what I used to not like, and probably why it surprised you when I did it, was I didn't like when people called change management a science. It's not. We use science to help us, but it's not in itself. In itself, it's a well, yeah,
Hey, careful,
yeah, I
careful,
know,
because
I
I
know.
kind of,
Whew,
you
yeah,
know my reframing from the people's side of
yeah,
change
yeah,
to
yeah.
people's
So,
science.
so
So, what are you saying, Mark? Are you saying you don't like that,
So
or
no,
what?
I'm saying I no stop.
You
I so,
are.
no, I'm not. So
Yes,
anyway,
you are. Don't
I decided
lie.
I don't know. I decided that I wanted to do it. I decided for a number of reasons as well. Because obviously if you've got a business, you want to look educated, professional, all those things, and curiosity definitely got the better of me because I just reading online wasn't doing it for me. So yeah, I applied, and do you know what? I have to say, it was amazing. It was brilliant, and I think what was nice about it, and this is a true story, Ron. So I was lucky enough to have to say all to myself because the group that was supposed to be on with me, they all work for the same company, and they all decided what they wanted a closed session. So they had this closed session. It was just me and her, so it was brilliant. And she's a lovely lady, and I really enjoyed spending time with her. But true story, I stopped on day two, and I genuinely felt emotional because I've been doing all of this for years. I've just not had science to back it up, the terminology to back it up. I didn't have anything like that. I just knew,
You've just
like a
been doing
gut.
it.
Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
doing it like a gut feeling, like an instinct that is
Because
important.
your brain was guiding you down that path, which is
Um,
neuroscience.
and so yeah, all right, stop milking it. So yeah, so I came out of that course thinking, I'm so pleased I did that. First of all, and I'd recommend it to anybody because for me, I hope you'll agree with me on this. This is for me the most important part about what we do. This is the bit that will make the difference. Learning this will make the difference. Two, it was validating, very validating in terms of because I'm like you. I know I joke and I mess around and I muck about but I'm like you. I get imposter syndrome as well, and I guess even throughout your career, you're always kind of wanting that validation, and that am I doing it right? And although I might appear very confident and as I say, jokey and joke, I messed around and what have you. I wanted that validation is what I believe right, and that gave it to me. And also, what it's done is it's going to encourage me, and probably in the same way it did you, to talk about it more and
Yeah.
actually share it more. And actually, now I can back up some of the things I think need to be done, and people go,
Uh,
"Yeah, that's soft and fluffy." You
it,
go, "No,
it,
that's
it's
science."
it's a really interesting area because I've been delivering my sort of people science journey for quite a few months now, and people are actually intrigued about. Um, I mean, one of the areas is obviously neuroscience, the other two are psychology and behavioral science, and they all kind of conjoined, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but the neuroscience piece, when you dig into it, it is actually some of the things you think, for goodness sake,
Yeah.
is that really true? Like, just very quickly, do you know that your gut bacteria can actually impact the way
Yeah,
your
yeah,
brain
yeah,
works?
yeah. Fully enough,
Yeah.
mate. Yeah, I've
Did you
just
know?
taken a course. Told me.
Yeah. Did you did you know we have three brains? We have the head, the heart, and the gut. Yeah. And they're all connected by the vagus
It's
nerve.
it's it's
Yeah.
a fascinating thing. It really is fascinating how and also some of the things. So I joke, and you've made reference a lot as well, and I've joked about oh yeah, when I come visit you, I'll bring a load of cake in. Actually, bringing cake in triggers and releases hormones and chemical reactions within the body that makes people more acceptable
But
to change. So it's a
yeah,
no-brainer. Yes, I'm
yeah,
going to bring
I know.
cake.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you do nice things, and what happens? Your oxytocin increases, and you
it
get these
just
nice, wonderful feelings and
yeah,
stuff like that. And
it
the whole
yeah,
day changes.
it's
Think
it
about if you think about it more from a trying to again, I'm lost for the word, but trying to emphasize or tune into the brain and how it reacts to certain situations is probably going to solve most of your problems when you're dealing with people and resistant stakeholders.
yeah, yeah.
Because if you
It's
feel
common sense, isn't it, mate? It's you have the people on
common
board.
sense.
It's gonna go better. It's simple as
Where does
that.
common sense come from up there?
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, so it's interesting subject.
I have a question for you then. Just moving on from you
Oh
making me
no.
make no
Oh
from you
no.
making
No,
me
go on
eat my
then.
words about neuroscience. Um, we're going to be probably influxed on LinkedIn. Influx, is that a word? Anyway, we're going to have lots of posts on LinkedIn about what change management's going to look like. I could already see in my head. ProSci will have like a dozen posts out going change management in 2026. Da 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 da. What do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think it is going to look like going forward? I have my own ideas. I'm interested to know what you
Well,
think.
I recently put out a post, and it was exactly the same post as I put out in 2023 and 2024. And there was no bloody change. I just put out the same post. Yeah.
Yeah,
PM and CM and all this rubbish, still the
yeah, yeah,
same.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's the same old training providers. Da, 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 da. Uh, to be honest, if you're going to push me into a corner, I can't see much difference in 2026. So I'll be probably putting out the same post again in the end of this year, end of 2026.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed nothing of any consequence have changed, and you're still going to get, pardon the expression, the same old shit being posted day in, day out by people who think they are change managers, having done their 3 day, 2 day, whatever course with whoever delivered it, and think they can deliver change. I just don't think it will, to be honest. I just have this niggle that there isn't, apart from AI, and if it's used properly, apart from AI, I don't think there's anything what I would call that is going to substantially change the way people practice change. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Maybe it's just me. Maybe just I'm being pessimist. Okay, but as I say, I've posted the same post for 2 years, 3 years, 3 years on the
Yeah,
run now, and kind of people agree with me. Still the same. Yeah.
yeah,
There's all these things that I wrote about way back in 2014, over 10 years ago, that are still kicking around today. And
yeah.
there's no diff. They might have sort of, got a bit more substance behind them now, but still no real, going back to what I said earlier, no real big challenging things that are going to happen. Maybe leadership might suddenly realize that change is good instead of not understanding it, or maybe leadership will take some training in change. Because I think that's a big issue. Let's talk about leadership for a while, actually, because I think leadership is still the big issue in change, in terms of um, their ability to understand that it's not fluff, it's not just a little bit non untangible results, etc., etc. There's some real, say again, science behind change management, which I hope you'll agree with. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
but they don't want to take the time to understand this, because I don't know why. I don't know why it is. I don't know why they are so reticent. And I think one of the reasons is there's still this focus on hard, deliverable metrics. You have to make sure that you deliver this on time. You have to make sure you get your return on investment. You have to make sure you get your, KPIs delivered, etc., etc. There is still this bloody focus on, unless you can measure it, it makes no sense. And again, coming back to one of the questions I asked, not in this session on LinkedIn, there's again, I wrote an article. There's a disparity for me, and the disparity is that everybody says, every man, woman, and their dog says, unless you have change management, you're going to be unsuccessful. Change management is what makes your project successful. Yeah, all of the surveys results still come in saying, guess what? Between 60 and 8%, 60 and 80% of change management efforts fail. And then that
Does
comes
that make, you just said 1680, is that 70% of?
between 60 and 80%. I didn't say, and I'm
Sorry,
not, yeah, I know you're staring it, I know.
yeah,
I didn't say, okay, no,
yeah,
between
okay.
60 and 80%. Okay. You've already thrown me off my thrown me
Sorry,
off my
I'm really
kilter.
bad at doing that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm terrible at doing that.
And it's it strikes me that a lot of people, going back to LinkedIn, a lot of people on LinkedIn are still sort of kind of saying it's all about leadership. Leadership. The problem is with leadership, 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 leadership. Oh, yeah. But isn't it about time? And I know you said earlier that, new type leaders are coming into the fray now, and some of the old guard, some of the more sort of directive type leaders are leaving, etc. So you've got the old guard, the new guard coming in, but I still think they've come up through the ranks, yeah, and they still come through the ranks with this narrative of hard deliverables as opposed to soft people deliverables, changing mindsets and behaviors and all of that stuff. And kind of get the impression that this is not going to change. I wish it would, but I kind of get the impression it's not going to change much. But that's me. I don't know.
So I agree with you, particularly in the UK. Particularly in the UK. It's just people, yeah, we just keep saying the same things and fight the same fight, and it's like, when is somebody going to just wake up and realise? I mean, I genuinely meant it the other day when I posted about, our phones in the change world should be ringing off the hook, because it's constant. It's never going to change. Change is never going to change. It's just going to be constant. It's just going to keep going. And AI is making it faster and more intense than ever. And we barely survived the digital era, and now we're going into the AI era, and it's just, there's so much. I think for me, the leadership thing over here is still a big challenge, getting people to understand the value in what we do. But I think, you look across the globe and it's different. So I absolutely love what Australia are doing, because they're actually bringing elements of change management into their standards. So, the old
Mhm.
ISO
Yeah,
standards,
yeah,
they're bringing elements of what we do into that. So
yeah.
that we'll literally say to people, if you want to have this standard and you want to be this good, then you need to have an element of managing change and change management capability. Um, I think that's a brilliant thing. I think that's definitely the way forward. I agree with you. I don't think anything's going to change. We will talk more, I expect. I
Well,
don't.
we're just going to go around in circles,
Yeah, I
Here we
honestly,
go round.
I do, I do think there is an opportunity for us to talk more around. Yeah, I'm going to say it more around, because there's a lot of
Go on.
this neuroscience and AI. Because if you think about it, they're two big pieces of the puzzle. One's over there, one's over there. AI is about obviously the technology and productivity and return on investment, and what it can do for businesses, blah blah blah. Great, but there's a lot of people talking about the human thing in the middle that I said earlier. And then so over here you've got the neuroscience bit. So I think there needs to be something there that, yeah.
There is a connection. There is a connection, and I do make the connection. Quick plug on my course about neuroscience and AI and how they're connected. And because there's been a few studies done where people have been given things to do, essays to write with AI only, yeah, with AI partly or completely without AI, right? And the results that have come back is that the people who have written this essay, yeah, this was the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, I think, people who have written with AI afterwards completely forget about what they've written about.
Mm.
They don't they don't keep it up here because
Is
they
that
just said to a
is is that the one where they did the brain scans and you could see the two brains? One was using AI and one wasn't, and there was a significant difference in
I haven't
activity.
seen that.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I have seen some of it, and this is exactly what's happening. Those that kind of used, sort of wrote their own stuff first, and then pumped it into AI and said, "Hey, have a look at this and see if it makes sense." They kind of had some kind of recall about what they talked about, okay, what they
Mm.
wrote about. The other one, where they were told just to write it completely using their own mind, yeah, they had practically total recall of
Mm.
what Arnie Schwarzenegger, wasn't it? Total Recall. Sorry, what they wrote about. Yeah, and
Yeah, I
and
was I was
and
just thinking at my
this
age, I
is
don't recall anything, but carry on.
and yeah, sure wasn't Arnold, wasn't Total Recall in your time frame?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, lots of the Running Man.
Okay.
I love
So this is going back to what said earlier on. This is what worries me is this AI, unless it's going to be used for the common good, is going to dumb people down. Yeah, because they will just use AI for whatever they think is right and for whatever they want to write, etc., etc. Right? That's RIGHT and then WRITE, by the way. So just so you don't get confused. Um, and unfortunately, I think we are erring. It's back on AI now, isn't it? We are erring to the side of those people who are just using it and say, got it, AI, talk about this, boom, yeah, publish, gone, done. Yeah, and this worries me because this is going to create a future of dumbed down humans who
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
think for themselves, who
yeah,
can't sort of do anything for themselves. I mean, some of the things that people ask AI to do or to tell them about is I've seen, it's just bloody ridiculous. You
Mm.
know, like, people using AI like Google Maps sometimes tell me how to get from X to Y and stuff like that. For goodness sake, use your own bloody common sense. And go back to that again, common sense, isn't it? Use your own common sense when it comes to this aspect, because this is not, it's not doing you any good. Okay, at my age, it doesn't worry me because, as I said, I'm not going to be around for much longer, but maybe a bit longer to carry on these kind of sessions every year. But but just use your common sense, for goodness sake. We know what it's all
Hey, hey,
about.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Go back to that comment about Google Maps. I need the sat nav to go to the corner shop because I'm not from around here. So I'm just saying, some of us need
Yeah,
need the help. Need the help, Ron. Some
you
of us
need a
need to.
sat nav to go around the corner.
Yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
no,
no.
I think you're right, mate. I think there's going to be a tendency of people being lazy and putting it in, having 100% confidence in whatever comes out, and going, that's it. There you go. And I've not seen anything from anyone ever, ever since we've had this whole thing about AI. Never seen anything from anyone come out and 100% go, that's perfect. That's what I wanted. Never.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just doesn't work like that. It's still very dependent on us humans. So, and I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I think, yeah, next year, mate, I don't see anything changing. I think we're still going to have the same old challenges and battles, the PMCM thing.
Well,
Um,
I look forward to publishing what's changed in 2026.
I just can't
Not
wait.
a thing lot.
Yeah, I just know it's coming. I just know the posts are coming. There's going to be loads. And the other one that I hate is we're going to move incredibly, almost seems planned, even though it's not. We're going to move really nicely to the other thing that I hate is as well as the change management for next year or whatever. Change management is dead.
Oh,
Thank you. That's my
I
reaction
was
when I
going to
see them.
say something then, but I think that might
No,
have been
no.
classed as hate
Yeah, yeah.
speech, so I'm not going to
Mhm.
say anything. These people, it's
Oh,
again, I've bloody
oh.
lost for words. You see, I'm getting old now. It's publishing that same old narrative, isn't it? It's for clicks. That's what it's all about. It's for
I just hate
clicks. I
that. I
want
hate
you
that
to
one. But
read,
that
change.
one, yeah, always sparks me.
Yeah,
Same way 70% always sparks you. I always buy,
yeah.
is the change management dead? Because I'm like, hold on.
I always go back on people who say change management is dead.
Yeah,
It's not dead. It's evolving. It's
exactly. It will
changing.
evolve.
But
It will, yes,
the thing is, how quickly? Yeah,
yes,
how
yeah,
quickly? And I
yeah,
go back to what you said about AI and neuroscience, and I suppose if you're going to push me into a corner and ask me what do you think are going to be the big changes, I think there's going to be this coming together of AI and neuroscience that's going to cause kind of disruptive waves in the change management industry. Yeah. And I look forward to that, but I'm not hopeful. I do
yeah,
look
yeah.
forward to it. And there's always nice to have hope in your heart, as they say. But I'm kind of skeptical.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I agree, mate. I think it evolves. We will evolve. I think the thing for me though and I feel really passionately about it, and I know not everybody likes it, is I just think we need people talking positively about what we do. I just do. I just think we need to shout it from the rooftops. And the reason I think that is because we've been around for decades and we're treated like we're project management's poor cousin. And that
Yeah.
really, and knowing that the difference that we make with people, it really annoys me that's how our industry's seen. So for anybody watching thinking, why are you just an absolute gobshite about it, Mark? It's because I genuinely love it and think we have a fantastic industry that adds value to lots of people all over the world. And we should talk about it. We should say how good we are.
Yeah,
We,
yeah,
you know, it,
we should
yeah,
talk about anything at all that is relevant and that may have some kind of impact on change management. Doesn't matter whether it's stupid, silly, ridiculous, or
yeah,
off the top of your head, whatever. It doesn't bloody matter. Just talk
yeah.
about it, get it out there, just tell it the way it is. Yeah,
It's
which
and
is,
that comes back, and you and I both know that comes back to that whole leadership bit again because they don't really know or understand a lot of them, and so it's a vicious circle. So yeah, talk about it, shout about it from the rooftops, sing and dance about it. I can't sing. Don't you sing, and I can't dance. So let's just not go there. But do it because what we do is so important. We make the difference in the workplace between success and failure. It's really simple.
yeah.
because
Mm.
everything in the workplace happens through people. It's a really
Yeah,
simple concept. So,
yeah.
the other thing I wanted to ask you, mate, I'm not keeping an eye on time, by the way. I'm just happy chatting along. So please keep an eye on the time. The other thing I
We
wanted to,
we we've been going for nearly an hour.
have we? All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So it's up to you. I just keep talking. The other thing I wanted to ask you
Well,
about was LinkedIn.
I was going to say let's just wind things up a bit, okay? I mean, do you have like the Queen used to have and the King has a Christmas message for our viewers?
Oh, for God's sake, Ron, I was just about to go into a really deep and meaningful conversation about LinkedIn then. Do I have a deep and meaningful? Deep and meaningful, deep and meaningful. I don't do really
Well, did
deep.
you do? I mean, if you want to get the thing in about LinkedIn, please do, because this
Well,
is
I mean,
not we're not time restricted here.
what I want to ask you your thoughts on the current state of LinkedIn with all the algorithm changes, everything that happens. There's been actually a lot of talk around, and again, I don't think it's appropriate for you and I to go into
Okay.
it, but talk about gender bias on LinkedIn, where you have to put you're a male in your profile and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to touch that because I think that's a really sensitive issue. But my opinion is the algorithm is changed and is being pushed towards naturally because it's a business, people paying for things. And I think it's lost a little bit of its credibility and its heart and its um,
I can't make out LinkedIn at the moment. I can't make out the algorithm. So I think I've mentioned this to you before in
yeah,
messages
yeah,
where I said I don't give a monkeys anymore about the algorithm. I'm just going to do what I do, what I think I do best, and what gets people's attention.
yeah, yeah,
I've got a hardcore of followers and connections who do sort of engage with my posts and stuff like that. And so long as I keep on going with that, that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
There are exceptions when maybe I've been a little bit challenging and a little bit sort of critical and stuff like that, because that seems to sort of stir the pot a little bit, of course, which it should, which is why I do it. But yeah, I mean, I'm hooked. At the end of the day, I'm hooked. LinkedIn is the platform for me.
Yeah.
Um, Talking about brands, I've got my own green and blue brand now. I think you might have noticed that. Unlike Mrs. Yellow. And yeah, I just do it. And I've kind of got into this thing about posting every day.
Mm,
Every single bloody day. I mean, if you looked at that a year in view thing I published earlier on, last year I published on 349 days.
mm. Yeah,
Am
yeah.
I mad? Am I crazy or what? Uh,
No, I think you're
yeah,
right. I think it's for me it's a platform. It's a platform to say what I and be what I
uh,
how I want to be about change management. And if I'm not talking about it with people in groups or wherever, then that is my outlet. That's my outlet.
uh,
That's my platform, and I
uh,
can, and I think I think as long as we continue to resonate and people like what we post and
yeah,
it, there's
yeah,
it, there's enjoyment and it sparks conversation and it sometimes it's informative as well. Probably more yours than
yeah,
mine,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
it just I think as long as we continue to do that, I think that's a really important thing. And regardless of what anybody thinks of you and I and the way we present ourselves. I think
yeah,
we have our industry's best, best at heart. We're coming from a good place, regardless of
yeah.
whatever people think. In terms of change management, you and I are coming from a really good place.
we
We love
we
it.
we we are just committed to this profession or
Yeah,
discipline, whatever you want to call it,
yeah,
in a way that maybe not a lot of other people are. Yeah, and I don't say that lightly. There are people who think they're committed, but I think, and I'm not sort of saying this to sort of, beef our personas up, but I think the likes of you
no,
and me, you're probably um a little bit more committed than most people because of the way we think about change, the sort of the way we are, and I hate this word, but I'm going to use it, the way we're passionate about the subject, etc.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing, and I'm sure
yeah,
you're going to keep on doing what you're doing,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
just
And
hope for the best that.
I've got myself out and about a little bit the back end of this year. and I've met people. And I think what's nice is everybody who's met me said, I just am the way I am. You know,
Uh,
there's no airs and graces, no ego. I just am the way I am. I love what we do. I love talking about what we do. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. This is one of the things I miss, living here in Thailand is being able to actually get out there and
Mm.
talk to people face to face. The loneliness of a long distance change manager, I think the
Yeah,
title is.
yeah. Sounds like a
and
movie. Yeah.
and it does my head in sometimes, okay, I enjoy these kind of conversations we're having today. And I do sort of have conversations with other people, and I do have regular conversations, but I'm delivering training then, but we do throw in conversation during that training. So I do have that interaction, but it's not the same as face to face.
Mm.
Actually going out for a pint, yeah, or whatever. Yeah, it's not the same.
No.
And I do miss that. Maybe I'll come back sometime to the UK and just sort of book a room somewhere in some hotel and say, if you want to come and join me for a drink, come and join me for a drink. Yeah, just to sort of meet people. So, but hey, anyway, listen,
Yeah.
we've gone quite a way over time. So going back to what I asked you before, what's your Christmas message?
Oh, my Christmas message. I mean, it's probably exactly what I say to, like I say, people coming through the industry, read and absorb as much as you can, get to know everybody, but then, make decisions on based on common sense. And even though I love knowing everybody and I love talking to people all over the world, it's an absolute delight. It really is one of the best things, about my career. I also keep my circle quite small. So I have quite a small circle of people who are my go-to people.
Yeah.
And I think that's important as well. I think just treat our industry with the love and respect that it deserves. Like I say, it's been criminally undervalued for many, many years. And I think AI is an opportunity for us to really shine a light on how much value we add. So yeah, hard question that, mate. It just makes me want to start talking for another half hour. So, what about you?
I haven't got any message. I've got a song.
Oh God, no, no, no.
Christmas time, mistletoe and wine, children singing Christian rhyme, logs on the fire, gifts on the tree. That's enough. You switched off.
Seriously, seriously. There's just
Hey,
no need.
listen, you realize, didn't you think I was going to get that in or not? You
Dear
must have.
me.
No, let me be serious now. Let me be serious. Don't take everything I say to heart. Okay. I might challenge, I might be critical, I might condemn, I might say things that sometimes people think are out of order. Okay. This is me. This is what I am. It's the kind of person I am. I don't make any excuses for what I am. I've always been, and I'm not sure whether this is PC or not. I've always been the black sheep of the family. Okay. I don't know whether that's PC, but if it isn't PC, I apologize. Okay. Um, so it's just me. Just take me for what I am. Take me at face value. Don't look too deeply into the kind of things I say to people, the kind of challenges I put out there. I am just being me, and I just want to get people thinking about what we do and how we do it and the things we actually do with people and how it impacts people, what we do, how what we do impacts people. So, you know, um, have a good Christmas, everybody,
Yeah.
and
Merry
a
Christmas,
grand
everyone.
and a new year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Is that it?
Yeah, brilliant, matey. Thank you. Nice to have a catch up.
Okay, listen, I'm going to try and get this out for tomorrow. Okay,
Okay.
onto YouTube it will be, but
Yeah.
I'll put a post onto LinkedIn. If I can't get it out for tomorrow, it will be after Christmas, but it will be before the end of the year. Oh my goodness me. Well, it's a
People,
Christmas
it's
special, so it doesn't matter whether it's before or after, does it?
people. I just don't think you shouldn't keep at least three people who asked for this waiting, Rod.
Um, yeah, whatever. What's in Sorry, just I didn't catch what you said there.
I said that at least three people asked for this. We can't keep them waiting.
Oh, three. Yeah. Well, Yeah, there were quite a few actually. I think you're posted quite well on this. But anyway, enough is enough. Have a good Christmas, as I said before, and have a
Yeah.
good New Year. And you,
You too,
Mark,
mate. You too.
keep
Merry
on
Christmas,
cleaning
mate.
those awards, okay? Keep on cleaning those
I
awards.
will. I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're up for another one. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Some
Brilliance International Brilliance Awards in January. A startup again, which is
so
nice.
that might be number four then.
Possibly. We'll see how it goes. Not guaranteed. We'll see.
Cheers, Mark. All right,
Cheers,
mate.
mate.
Good speaking to you again.
Merry
And as I
Christmas,
said,
mate.
I'll try and get this out for tomorrow, but if not, it'll be shortly after Christmas.
Cool.
Cheers. All
Cheers.
right. Bye.